Mobility Monday. Today we're going to do Shin Boxing. So you can do a few different variations depending on what level of hip mobility that you have. It's a great hip mobilizer, and when you add the lift into it, it can help with hip centration and glute strength and that kind of thing. So for level 1, we're just simply working on mobility of the hip. You'll sit back. You're gonna have one knee bent and the other knee bent. You're gonna put your hands behind you, and then you're simply gonna shift the knees back and forth. So feet stay where they're at, and knees flip-flop. And if you can't get the knees all the way down to the floor, that's fine. You go as far as you can, and the further you lean back, the easier it is. This is great for pregnancy as well. So as you get further along in the pregnancy and your belly starts to get in the way, you can just simply lean back. If you feel like that's pretty easy for you to do hip-wise, you're going to sit up nice and tall. Think of having like a string from your chest to the ceiling. Use your core to hold you upright, and then you're gonna flip the knees, feet stay where they're at, back and forth, using your core to hold you nice and upright. So we're using core strength and mobility of the hips. If you want to add in a little bit here, you can add in a lift on either side. So you would do the same thing, lifting through the core. You're going to flip the knees, and then we're going to drive our weight down into our shin, coming up, and then slowly lowering the hip back down, flipping the knees the other side, driving down into the shin, coming up, and then slowly lowering down. And if you wanted to add one more part into that, you're going to drive down into the shin using your glute, and then trying to step forward. Then slowly bring the leg around behind you and flip to the other side. Flip the knees, drive down into the shin, step forward into half kneeling with control, come back down. Flip the knees, drive down into the shin, come up to half kneeling, swing the leg back around. Then you can take it up all the way to standing. So flip the knees, come up onto the shin, step through, come up to stand. And then we're going to go right back down the way we came. Shift the weight onto that standing leg. Come back down into half kneeling. Bring that foot around. Come to a seat and try the other side. Drive down. Come to half kneeling. Stand, shift the weight back into the standing leg, come to half kneeling, bring the leg around. So that is the progression that you kind of can work up to, working on our balance, our core strength, our hip centration. It hits a lot of different fields. And then if you wanted to up it just one more level, you can add in a small weight. So this is just a really little kettlebell. We're gonna hold on, flip the knees, come up to half kneeling, come up to stand. With control, come back down the same way you came up, and come to the other side. So lots of varying degrees. This is usually accessible for anybody if you pick the level that works for you. So give it a try, see how mobile your hips are. That can often tie into not just hip pain, but low back pain and other issues. So check out your hip mobility and your glute strength and see if that makes a difference.